Jack, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, Dennis.
Richest
My honor.
person in China, biggest IPO in world history. You made more money in Alibaba in the last 90 days. You probably don't even know this. More money in Alibaba the last 90 days than Amazon has made in the last 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually true. So no pressure here, but it's wonderful to have you here. It's truly an exciting moment for us, an exciting moment to spend time with you. To Jerry's question, I'm going to ask a very simple one. We know about the soccer team. We know about the e-commerce platforms. We know about the set-top boxes, the logistics companies, the operating systems on mobile phones. So I'm going to put it to you simply. What is Alibaba?
Alibaba is an ecosystem that helping small business to grow. But I would like to say about the soccer team. Yeah, the owner of the soccer team really made me drunken that night. And he said, Jack, he's been poisoning me for 1 year. He said, Jack, please enter the soccer business. But I know nothing about the soccer. But I just see China soccer team, too bad. It's so difficult to make it even worse. So make it better is better. But I think the thing I like is that the soccer is supposed to make 11 people play like a one person. But in China, when you see 11 people, they play like 110 people. And China is a one-child family. We have to make our kids play like a team. So I think China is pretty good at play the single, ping pong and tennis. They are pretty good. But soccer is too bad.
Sports, no.
Team sports. But on the other hand, ecosystem is all about team sports. Mm-hmm. So Alibaba is an ecosystem helping small business.
So all those things fit into it, you think?
Yeah.
Film studios, they have a role.
Because
what is that role?
The film studio, to me, I think, I don't worry about today, Alibaba business. I don't worry about next 3 years. Because whatever we have done today, we've been working for 15 years for today and next 3 years. But what I worry about is 10 years later, what we should do. Company like us, it's so difficult to catch 1 or 2 opportunities to make our business sustain. So a company like us, we have to solve social problems. Only by solve the social problems we can last long.
That's a pretty big mission to solve social
problems.
problems.
Small companies catch 1 or 2 opportunities, but a company like our size, you have to think about the future.
Right.
So I think in 10 years, China have 2 problems which we can help. One is a health problem. The other is a mental health problem. Health because the air, the water, the pollution today, 10 years, China will have a lot of problems, have a physical condition problems. Cancers and stomach problems, lung problems will come. So if we start to do it now, then we can help.
Okay, so right now you're changing commercial behavior.
Yeah.
People are doing business in ways they never did before.
No.
Can you tell us about maybe 1 or 2, maybe even 3 things that's changing in the Chinese consumer that didn't even happen even just a few years ago? How is that consumer doing things differently?
Well, Chinese people, young people, they really don't go shopping a lot on the real department store. All the department stores guys hate me. I think they find excuse. My business is bad because of Jack, But I think it's today what we are building is a lifestyle. We change the behavior, not like Amazon, you go there, you buy what you want. But Alibaba, Taobao, when you go there, you buy something different. You see, this is the picture, you buy something different. People feel excited. Wow, this is something different. Mm-hmm. Now, in the States, it will be bad if you buy something that's different from the pictures you saw. But in the States, young people say, I love it because it's different.
Serendipity.
Yeah.
Serendipity. Let's talk about the United States.
Well, let me finish about the movie. The other problem I worry about is the young people. I think China is getting rich so quickly. We worry about people have a deeper pocket but shallow mind. So movie is the best way to change Chinese young people's behavior and thinking and valuing and measuring the heroes.
Is there a mental health crisis brewing in China?
It is. It will come if we don't start to work now.
And movies are important to helping educate the.
It is. And especially we have more than 100 million people shopping our site every day. Most people, young people. So we are actually the largest entertainment company in the world. Every night we have 18 million people waddling on our site without buying anything. So this
That's
is
pretty
like so
fascinating.
how we can feed them with good quality of products.
So are you saying that commerce and the need to obtain things and the need to shop is a sign of potential coming mental illness for the people of China?
Yeah. I think, people in China in the future, that people will not go to the supermarket, will not have a lot of offline. The people going there just using Apple phone and pick the picture and get order
there it
online.
appears. There it appears. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're here in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You're going to spend some time at movie studios
Yeah.
tomorrow. So tell me about what Alibaba can do, perhaps make some new types of movies. Like what does the Jack Ma picture look like?
I told my people few months ago about a Chinese movie and American movie. American movie, all the heroes may sound at the beginning of the movie they're not good guys. It looks like, and at the tough time comes, they are great heroes, and all the heroes are alive. But in China, all the movies, heroes must die.
And you think
And if the heroes die, nobody want to be the heroes. I have never seen a movie in China that a hero survived.
does this reflect perhaps some real differences in U.S. society versus Chinese society? A fatalistic society, perhaps in China, and a more optimistic one in the U.S.
I think all the society should be optimistic. All the society should make the hero survive.
Right.
And China is making a lot of the heroes survive, but they just don't make the movie. On the movie, all the heroes are dead.
Right. So what's wrong with China that there are no heroes in the movies?
I don't know. So that's why I want to find out, Hollywood, how they
And
do
you're
it.
going to find the answers in Hollywood?
Well, at least I see a lot of Hollywood movies have heroes.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I come here to learn. I come here that I think, how we can make most of the Americans understand that China, because when I go to IPO, I receive so many questions from SEC, and it seems that they know very little about not Alibaba, but China. So I think it's my job to make people here understand China better and making the Chinese people understand American better.
Okay, let's do that. Let's talk about. Let's take a show of hands here. How many people know 11main.com? How many people know that website? Can anyone raise their hand? 1, 2, 3 people know 11main.com. Why don't you tell the American audience what 11main.com is and what it means for the future of Alibaba?
Well, honestly, I don't know there either. It's true, because I was so busy last year, because I think the team, we invest a lot in the States. We're going to invest more. And very important is that people say, hey, Alibaba is so big, why you don't come to the USA? When are you come to invade the USA? And as I come to USA, I want to thank USA, because I got my inspirations from Silicon Valley. 15 years ago, my trip to the USA, and I see the Silicon Valley, see the lights everywhere, the Sunday, all the car parks, packed with cars and people working hard. And I know the internet. So I go back to China, had a China dreams, build up Alibaba. So today, it's our time to come here, invest in the Silicon Valley, helping entrepreneurs, making sure it's true. So we invested May 11 and this and that, and trying to making sure they're good in the States.
So 11main.com is a website where you can, via Alibaba, shop in America.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So this is a really interesting proposition. And I think you're bringing this to places like Brazil in particular and Russia. And that is the notion of bringing commerce directly from China to consumers in other countries. Basically, if you think about it, cutting out Walmart entirely from the process of getting cheaper Chinese goods to other nations. Sounds pretty interesting and maybe a little bit scary.
No, I think I'm more interested in bringing America to China, bring Brazil to China, bring Russia to China, because selling Chinese products around the world, that's the past 10, 15 years, everybody's doing that. What I want to do is how can we sell more American small business products to China, helping more European products to China. This is what I feel excited about. This is the unique value that we have, because we have such huge demanding of good products from outside. So past 10 years exporting China export to outside. The next 10 years, I believe China should import.
So what would be 2 or 3 examples from U.S. small businesses that would make sense in the Chinese market?
Well, last year we helped the Washington State, the cherries. We sold 150 tons of cherries to China. And we sell the Alaska seafood to China. And last 15 days, we partnered with the Costco. We sold 80 tons of nuts to China. So I think there are so many farm products here that can be sold to China, because China today, because of the pollutions, people cannot have good quality products, and which we want.
Right.
We
So
think
it's mainly agricultural products.
mainly
Big for California.
We started
Big
with agricultural
state.
products.
Right.
Yeah.
And are there other things that you think U.S. businesses should start? Maybe some people here today can catch your ear and make some deals?
Oh, yeah. When I think it's amazing. People here probably don't realize that China, when you have 110 to 120 million people shopping on your site every day, you can almost sell everything.
Sell anything.
And I don't. My family, they buy everything. I don't shop online, but my wife buys everything at home.
So you've got a lot of nuts and cherries
Yeah.
in the home, right?
Yeah, we buy a lot.
Few tons.
We buy sea crabs and fresh crabs, all kinds of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's turn to, I think, what is the most radical thing you've done in China is not connecting buyers and sellers. It's in the financial services industry. Your money market fund,
Alipay.
your mutual fund, you about, I think it got $100 billion in, under a year? $100 billion deposits. This, to me, is the most radical thing, because you changed we're talking about interest rates, I'm sorry, but we're going to talk about interest rates. You changed people's expectations about what they could get on their money. And that is important, because for decades, the people of China have been subsidizing the state banks of China and the state-owned enterprises of China.
Yep.
Inefficient operations, inefficient things. When you brought them better yielding money market accounts, you were changing the whole financial services game in the country. And that is radical.
Yeah, that's radical. That's dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Because you're taking money from those people take for granted. They just think, because a lot of banks, I think they serve 20% of people, but they made 80% of the profits. China does not have such an efficiency in financial that's supporting and helping small guys. I heard so many banks talking about supporting small guys, but none of them even really put efforts on that. And they're just talking about, I talked to some banks. They say, oh, well, I just giving a loan to a small business last month. I said, how much did you give? He said, 20 million. That's not small business. The small business, they want to borrow $5,000.
Right.
So what we want to do is I said 5 years ago in my speech in China, I said, if banks do not change, let's change the banks. Then they say, no, forget about you internet, too bad. So we started from Alipay. When we got we have more than 300 million active users for Alipay. And we are probably the third largest payment in the world, after Visa, MasterCard, and we are. And then so totally changed. All the young people started using this system. And this system, we are not trying to build up a financial system. We want to build up the credit system for each Chinese individual, each Chinese small business, making sure they have a credit system. With that data and the credit system, we can fundamentally change the China.
But isn't the radical thing, Jack, that you're ending some of the subsidies that have gone to state-owned enterprises for decades? And isn't that a threat to the people who work for them, the people who lead them, the political parties that support them and use them as jobs banks, for lack of a better word?
Yeah, that's why last year I had a tough year.
Well, you're the richest man in China, so how does that work?
No, I don't think, my wife was very upset last month because newspapers said we are the richest people in China. Because 15 years ago when I started my business, I asked my wife, do you want your husband to be a rich person or a respected business people? She said, of course, I want you to be respected. Because she never thought I would be rich, I think.
But wait, why was last year a bad year for you? We got a little sidetracked there.
Well, last year, because of the Alipay, because of Europe, or because the money cap market, within 6 months, we gathered money more than 100 billion US dollars coming out. That make the government worry, make all the banks hated us. I've never seen the top 5 biggest banks in China unite together, want to kill us, you know. So everybody criticizes us.
Right.
It's a tough year. You have to spring.
So how would you characterize your relationship with the government right now?
As I always, in love with them, but don't marry them. You know, talk to them, listen to their problem. Government does not need you to say "I love you." The government wants to know that you can solve their problems. We created 14 million jobs for China. We are making all the banks to change. So the government finally realized that we are helping them.
But it sounds like, at least as it is now, they're willing to tolerate the changes you're bringing to the financial system and the overall commercial environment.
Yeah, I went to one-on-one. I talked to all the chairmen of the big banks, sitting down, say, what you are going to do, since we're growing. One of the guys said, Jack, in 10 years, we will have a fantastic memorial for you. Thank Alibaba and Jack Ma for doing these great things. But now we have to kill you.
So it sounds like there's sort of the movement for change economically, socially in China. You recognize that. Young people in particular is what you're focused on.
Yeah.
When does that become a political issue? So one of the things that you bring up about things that need changing in China, when does that become a criticism of the current ways that things are being done in a way that threatens people too much?
I think we got support from the normal people, support from the young people, and we are getting supporting from the government reforming side. So it's all about a communication. It's all about sitting there, listen to the others, what the things they worry about, and I get used to it. I've been criticized for 15 years. People call me crazy guy, and this guy is doing something. I get used to it. When people start to praise me, people say, wow, you're so great. I cannot get used to that. I get used to living a poor life when I have got $10 a month, 92 RMB a month as a teacher. But now when I have money, I do not get used to it because this is not what I want.
So when you want to bring a better life to China, what happens when you see the umbrellas open up in Hong Kong? How does that make you feel?
I think that the Hong Kong problem is not about the China and the Hong Kong relation. It's about the young people. They don't have the hope.
Go on.
Young people, all the big guys take all the great, real estate guy, big guys, they take all the good things. And the young people, they feel hopeless.
Fatalistic, no heroes.
Yeah, they think, I understand that, but this thing should not push that much. Because when I was young, I was upset by IBM, Microsoft. They take all the great opportunity of me. And I think, how can I be IBM? How can I be, do things like a Cisco?
Right.
But and as they say, later I say, forget about that. I start to work. I start to focus on myself, my job, and create like.
So is it only a matter of time till the umbrellas open up in Greater China?
I think both sides should listen. And both sides should step down. This thing cannot last long, should not last long.
Interesting. Okay. What's your view of America from China right now? You love Silicon Valley, but we have our own problems here.
Which country has no problem?
Right.
Yeah?
But what's your view of the most acute problems we have right now, the most serious problems in America? Is it lack of political togetherness? What is it?
I have too much problems myself, so I don't worry about America. But a few years ago, I heard the Americans say, yes, I can, but I did not hear yet how you can.
Go on.
And I was a bit upset year 2009 when I came to America. People talking about the financial crisis here and there, everybody's complaining others. Because I remember when I first came to America, when I watched so many movies in America, people say, I have the courage, I want to change myself. It's not waiting for the others. Because if I wait, nobody can help me. I did not have a rich father. I don't have a powerful uncle. And we just had to change ourselves.
Right. Do you think Americans have gotten too soft?
sometimes too hard.
Too hard?
Oh, you know,
How so?
you are everywhere.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, every day I watch the news about America. But too soft, too hard. Well, it's the my touchy philosophy is soft and hard. You have to do together.
Right. Who works harder, the people at eBay or the people at Alibaba?
It's sometimes you have not only have to work hard, you have to work smart.
So would you say you work smarter than
I-
eBay? I'd have to say yes, right?
Well, so far.
Yeah, so
So
far.
far.
Okay.
Because I think, you know, we are pretty lucky people. And the people say, you work very hard. True, in this world, there's so many people work very hard. But they're not that. I told my team when we IPO'd, I asked a lot of people sitting there, I say, you know, all of you guys, most of you guys, millionaires and so rich. But 15 years ago, who are we? It's so difficult for us to hire people 15 years ago. People who are not that bad. I said, people can still walk on the street. We hire them. Because nobody believes internet. Nobody believes internet. And they join the company. Those people who believe they're smart, they were headhunted to the other company. They set up their own company. Those people, nobody go to headhunting them. They stayed. Today they become successful. Very key reasons. We insist, we persist, we never give up. We
Okay.
believe the dreams together.
So let's talk about shopping because you're about shopping. Would you want to buy eBay?
Will you sell it?
Not mine to sell, but it's splitting up. It's not going to. It's going to be worth
Well,
a
eBay is
pittance
a great
compared to your.
company. I think eBay is a great company. I mean, there are a lot of good assets and good customers, and you know, the U.S. people love it. But I don't know. I think it's too early to think about the buy and the sell, merge and acquire. Whether you know, unnecessarily that the good things you all want to put into your own pocket. There are so many things, good things, in the world. You can, because you know, Tim Cook is here. The Apple is so good. I want to buy Google, but I cannot. I want to buy the Apple, but I cannot. You know, I wish Apple is great. You know, you don't have to. Oh, this is good. I put it into my pocket. No. Let them be good.
Right, let them be good. So you don't want to buy eBay. What about PayPal? They're splitting up.
I have my Alipay.
Yes.
And
You
the
don't need
still
PayPal.
question is that they will sell?
Uh-huh.
No,
Well,
because buying and sell is like a marriage. You want to marry her, she does not marry you. You know. So,
I think I understand that. Let's talk about strange marriages. That gets us to Android, Google, the predominant operating system in the U.S. or in the world right now on mobile. But you are developing an Alibaba operating system. Tell us about that. Is that a threat to Mr. Cook? Is that a threat to Google? What's going on?
no, I think the Alibaba 5 years ago we decided to be a data company. We want to be the company that share data. So e-commerce, difference between us and Walmart. Walmart is a company try to sell more things. But we sell things because we want to collect data. We do financing not because we want to make money from finance. We want to have the data. We believe the data is the most valuable thing, assets in the future can serve more small, medium-sized companies. And the difference between us and Google is trying to expand the bondage of technology. We want to use technology to expand the bondage of business. And Google does not working pretty well with China government.
No.
So that make the Android is like a disabled stuff.
Right.
And that cannot make in Chinese users using so sort of smoothly. A lot of service Chinese people cannot use.
Right.
So we need to work on that, making sure our users can using this on the mobile smoothly, nicely.
All right. So we're going to go to questions in just a few minutes. Two more questions for you, or maybe a few more other than that. You spoke to someone very important today, an important world leader, Mr. Kobe Bryant. What did Jack Ma and Kobe Bryant have to talk about?
We're talking about the muse and inspirations that we learn from our lives. Kobe told me that he learned to play basketball by watching National Geography. There's a leopard, the tail, it's interesting. I said I learned a lot of things from movies. I learned how to make a speech from the movie called Bodyguard, Whitney Houston. When she sings the songs, I look at her, wow, that's the way that you make a speech, because I never know how to make speech, because I'm not an actor. But when I saw the movie, I say, wow, if you sing from your heart, if you sing naturally, if you're yourself. So I realized, and I learned a lot from the movies, even learned from the Godfathers. I learned, my favorite movie is Forrest Gump, These are the things I learned so much. We discuss about the muse, the inspirations we got from movies.
Right, let's talk a little bit more about the muse. Would it make sense for Alipay and Apple Pay to come together? Some rumors, you have a nice smile on your face. Some rumors from our tech reporters in Asia that maybe you, Mr. Cook, have something brewing.
I'm very interested in that.
Okay.
Yeah, but as always, a good marriage needs both sides hardworking. And I respect Apple and respect him very, very much from my heart. I think he's doing a fantastic job, and I hope we can do something together.
Okay, well that's very, very interesting. I'd say the predominant theme of our talk has been marriage. What have you learned from your wife about the institution of marriage, and how has that played into your business?
I learned a lot from my wife. She's my boss, so whatever boss said is right.
Right, but marriage, I think, is a metaphor for you for communication, teamwork, and the like.
Yeah, it's trust.
Right.
It's the trust, it's believing in the others, and it's about the transparent.
Okay. Hey, we have an incredible opportunity for you, people in the audience participating who are co-conspirators in this few-day event, to ask a question of Jack Ma. So if you do not raise your hand and you have a question on your mind, you should be ashamed of yourself. So who's got a question? I think we got one back there, please. If you could identify yourself, stand up, give your question for Jack Ma.
Hi, I'm Andrea Chang at the Los Angeles Times. I was wondering if you could be more specific about your strategy in Hollywood this week.
Sorry, I didn't catch it.
She wanted to know if you could be more specific about your strategy in Hollywood this week.
This trip coming here just to want to get the feeling. I watch a lot of movies, but it's not mean I know about no movie industry. One of my friends in the Silicon Valley, and when he became the CEO, I said, you will never be a good CEO. He said, why? He said, I've been working with good CEOs for 15 years. And I said, I watched my mother cook for 30 years, I could not cook. So I come here to learn. I want to come here looking for partners. And I think China will be the largest movie market in the world. Because next 10, 15 years, China will have more than 200 million middle-class people. They need great cultural products.
And are they not great now, Jack?
No.
What's the matter with them?
So isolated and self-entertaining.
But isn't this the reflection of the restraints put on the art there in China?
Yeah, now we are at the internet time. So I think using internet.
So does that subvert some of the restrictions placed by the government on films?
Yeah, never worry too much about the government, because people, when I started business 15 years ago, internet, everybody's telling me, oh, China government is censorship on internet, this, censorship on internet, that. I say, well, let's look at the good side. And movie, the same thing. What I want to do movie, I never expect Ali Pictures will be successful in 12 months. I'm thinking about how we can make Ali movie works and successfully in 10 years. Because one of the key things that we succeed is because we see problem in 10 years, and we start to do now and persist and do it in the right way, and then we'll win. If we want to win tomorrow, now we got a chance.
Well, the predominant way in which these films will be viewed then will not be in theaters. It will be on devices or
mobile and the pad and all the things.
Interesting. Okay, other questions for Jack Ma, please. If you could get a microphone, please.
So cold here.
Do you need a hug?
Yes, definitely. You've been a teacher before you started Alibaba. What can Alibaba do to change education in China? Gregor Freund, Wessel.
I think we are going to do a lot on that because I was trained to be a teacher and I taught 6 years. And I feel regret that I give up my teaching. And I'm going to do something, but teaching is more political. And right now I call myself CEO, Chief Education Officer of my company. And I think the best product of Alibaba is not Alibaba.com, it's not the Taobao.com, it's not Alipay.com. It's 25,000 employees I have because in 5-10 years I'll kick all of them out to be the CEO, be the teacher, do whatever they want to do. And we're going to put a lot of resources on education. And I learned so much from being a teacher. A teacher, they always hope that your students are better than you are. And as me, a job. Why I become a CEO, why people still believe in me and trust me in my company, because I want my people better than I am. And I think China education system has huge potential. And today I use internet as the best university for China.
It sounds like you have a, people in the US and the West, I think there's a layer of fear about China, about what it represents, change, and here. But it sounds like you have, I wouldn't say a pessimistic view, but a very stark view of some of the problems in China right now, right? Education, the environment, and the like.
No, I'm very optimistic, actually. I see so many problems, and that is the problem for companies like us. If we can do the environment, we can do culture, education. I think nobody believed that Alibaba would be this size 15 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. But we made it happen. We believed 15 years ago. I believe today that China, in 10 years, China will have a blue sky if we start to do now. But if you're pessimistic, never do. Because I think, I don't know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, LA, Los Angeles have the same problem like China for the air. But if you start to do it, so I'm pretty lucky because I always believe the opportunity is the place, lies in the place where the complaints are. And I'm strong believe that.
Okay, that's really interesting. Other questions? Please, sir.
Hi, Jack.
Yep.
You mentioned about mental health and healthcare. Could you elaborate on that? What kind of service you plan to provide in those sectors?
The health, I think today, solving the problem of physical health problem, we want to try to build more hospitals, have more doctors, and have more medicine factories. But I believe if we can use data technology, which I said the world is moving from IT technology to data technology, which is called IT to DT. Data technology is trying to make other people happier, make other people better, and is trying to make transparent. And I think if we do properly, China in 10 years should have less hospitals, less chemical products, less doctors. So we are using data to change that. For health, the mental health, I want to learn from Hollywood, using the Hollywood technology and China philosophy.
All right, I don't know if Hollywood is a place for mental health, but you will find out tomorrow.
Well, it's people see different eyes. Something that, because like a lot of my young people in China, they always complain about China. And people outside China say, wow, sounds very interesting. In America, you have a lot of great things, but you get used to it. You think, well, but to me, wow, that's interesting. Let's see. Because I see a lot of opportunities here. I do. I feel excited about it.
We're out of time, but give us one or two opportunities in the U.S. that you feel excited about.
I don't want to scare you.
Go ahead.
I think, the great opportunities for e-commerce here is great.
Bigger
this-
than already there.
Yeah, of course, Amazon, eBay, you need more.
We need more. So you're coming. So go to
I'm not coming.
11main.com.
I'm helping more. Helping more.
Yeah, you'll go to 11main.com. That's just the start. It's just the start.
It's just the start.
Okay, well, Jack Ma, it's been a very brief marriage on stage with you, 30 minutes, but it's been a wonderful honeymoon. So thank you so much. Please join me in thanking Jack Ma.
Thank you very much.